And so it has begun. The moment that a lot of us have anticipated has finally happened. Hello, this is Mighty Sunny Warrior here with my review for iSaved Your Life. Now, a lot of people are getting mixed feelings about this, and before any of you comment or anything like that, I would just like you to know that haters, well, I will laugh at you. Because if you comment on this video saying, you suck, or you're weird, Cruddy rocks, I will laugh, I will giggle, and I will laugh so hard, because that just makes me laugh even more, because I know that you don't matter. So, anyway, I'm going to get on with the video. Number 1. The before scene of the credits was really funny. We have George Zabra, Social Stories, who is primarily a study shipper because of this one video on iCarly.com. So, he's back. We found out the game that Spencer and Sam play throughout the episodes called Assassin. All 4 of them were playing it eventually, or at one point in time, but Carly and Freddie got out. We actually see a scene where Freddie gets shot by Sam, and it's actually pretty funny because it reminds me of an episode of 24, which Nathan enjoys watching. So, go 24. Yeah, I missed it tonight because of I Saved Your Life, but I Saved Your Life was worth it, in my opinion. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But then we, Sam blows the paintball at the camera, which was a good laugh. We see Carly in a bunny suit. Now, many of us were mildly concerned when we first saw it. We're like, what is Carly doing in a bunny suit? And then we learned that My Carly fan dared Carly to brush people's teeth on the street for $1 in a bunny suit. And Spencer's like, well, your show is really weird. And, they're all, like, competitive, or him and Sam are competitive about this assassin game, and Carly, takes their guns away, and then when they leave, Sam shoots at him again. She has a mini one, then she has another mini one that Carly checks her, and we hear, I don't know if any of you caught this, because you were like, what's gonna happen, are they gonna kiss yet? But Freddie used a new language in this little part. He said au revoir, which is French for goodbye. I just thought I'd point that out. So Freddie is using French now. The language of love. Anyway, next scene, we see Spencer cooking a pizza. Sam runs in and says, Freddie's hurt. We all saw this in the promo. And then he asks what happens. He calls Mrs. Benson. She throws the pizza on the floor. So I took a double take of that. I'm like, Sam throwing food on the floor? Not possible. And then he's like, you bought a taco? Yeah. Throw him the truck that hit Freddie. Well, me starving's not gonna help him. Typical Sam for you, trying to make everyone see the brighter side of every situation. Next scene, we see Mrs. Benson and Freddie, and then she goes up to the keypad thing after she hears someone knock on the door, and it's Freddie and Spencer, Carly and Spencer. And she's like, what do you want? And she's like, can we see Freddie? And she's like, no. And then Freddie's like, Mom. And she's like, okay. And then she presses like 43. She presses like 33 or like 43 numbers on the thing. She's like, bam. And then they come in, Carly's flowers. Mrs. Benson takes them and is like, I'm gonna dip these in bleach. She's like really like pissy through the whole episode. Like really regretful of Carly. I don't think she likes Carly that much anymore. So anyway, Spencer and Carly are in there. Spencer shoots Mrs. Benson with the paintball, which wasn't the smartest decision. There's an epic scene with Gibby and Sam. I thought I'd point out, she shoots Gibby at the end of the episode, or the end of the scene, which was really funny. And then, we see Carly come in with cupcakes, and Mrs. Benson's gonna run out to get some meds for Freddie, and then he falls in the shower, and she has to go in there. She grabs some goggles and some socks, I think, and she runs in there and, helps him get into his robe, and helps him onto the bed, and then takes the goggles off, and she's like, well, that was scary, and wet. The Nick promo department was really stupid for leaking this out, because A, it kind of spoiled the the excitement that we were supposed to have, and B, it was just a little too much, you know? And then this is the scene where the first Creddy kiss happens. There are 5 in this whole episode. 5. Now, a lot of you are thinking, Creddy got more kisses than Sadie, blah, blah, blah. But remember, less is more. Famous words of sarcastic leaves, less is more. Anyway, we see them kiss, and it cuts off to a commercial break, and then when they come back to the commercial break is where I really noticed Freddy kind of retreating. He's kissing her back, but he's just kind of got this look on his face like, should I be doing this? And then Mrs. Benson walks in. He's like, what the yuck? And then she's like, I was taking Freddy's temperature, and then Mrs. Benson beats her out with Freddy's underwear, which I thought was hysterical. And then Carly runs outside to her hallway and then talks to Sam for a second. And then Sam's like, what just happened? And then she's like, I kissed Freddy. And then she didn't give Sam enough chance to kind of ask her why or what happened or anything like that. The next scene, we see them at school. She kisses Freddy when she walks to class. Ugh. So, obviously, they formed something because of this. And then foreign bacon. That is code that Sam uses. Sam talks about this guy, Noseby Mosby, I think his name was, and she's like, you know, I told him I wouldn't go out with him for months, and then he buys me this foreign bacon subscription, and boom, I'm instantly in love with the boy. And he's like, what's your point? My point is, Carly loved you for what you did, not you. Or loved what you did, not you. And then he's like, you jealous? And she's like, gross. And he's like, you just can't stand the idea of Carly and me as a couple. And she's like, very true, it makes me want to puke up blood. And she tells him this stuff, and then it looks like he takes it in for a minute. You know? And then Sam opens her locker, and Spencer's hiding in there, and he has this evil look, and he's like, here, Spency! And then she closes the door, and he says this really, really innuendo kind of thing. He's like, I really gotta stop saying these witty things before I blow. Innuendo! Anyway, we go back to the apartment where Carly, you know, is playing Violin Hero, and then Freddy comes in, is gonna hook up this. I'm not even gonna try to explain what that cable thing is. And she's like, I love it when you talk tech and cute. It's cukey. And then they kiss once, and he's like, And then she's like, what? And he's like, And then, you know, she's like, well, you want to kiss her? And then he's like, And he's like, so are we boyfriend and girlfriend now? And she's like, I don't know, maybe. And then he is kind of like, oh. And then she's like, oh. And then, you know, they start talking about that. And then she kisses him again. I'm sorry, she didn't kiss him twice before I said that. She only kissed him once, and then he pulls away again and goes, And then she's like, you retreated. And he's like, I really didn't, but, you know. And then he tells her what Sam told him, basically, without saying it, that Sam told him. He's like, you know, I'm just your bacon. You just love me for what I did. And then he's like, you know, if you want to be my girlfriend, and, you know, in the future, when I'm out of this stuff and out of the heroic thing, then good, and then I'd be psyched. And then she kissed him on the cheek in the elevator, which was really cute. You know, if I could find my Carly. Yeah, it was really cute. It's just kind of closure for the time being, okay? Creddy's at the climax right now of their relationship, which means there's not going to be a sequel to iSaved Your Life where Creddy's going to need to take a bigger step, you know? This is the biggest step for Creddy right now. There's going to be more Creddy down in the future, it's just not going to be this big. So Creddy is bask in the moment, bask in the glory. Oh, I forgot to talk about the scene with where Sam finally wins the assassin game. Spencer opens the door, there's this big package. He tells the delivery guy to open it, and there's a really, really weird scene, a really, really weird dialogue. It's like innuendo kind of again. And then the guy's like, or Spencer's like, is there a girl in there? And he's like, no, but did you order one? And Spencer's like, no. And then he opens up this big lollipop, and then he's like, you know, we don't call it a lollipop, we call it a sucker. And then he dies, and there's like this whole slow motion thing. Sam shoots him with the paintball, and he's like, no, you know, and she wins the game. Now, Sedgy fans, this is part 1 of the equation. Creddy happening. Creddy's happening. It's finally happening. This is finally the time where we can where we can kind of, you know, start piecing together the pieces of SETI. Now, I'm going to actually post another video about some evidence that SETI is definitely going to happen and is definitely going to be canon in my mind. So again, rock on SETI Warriors, and I hope you like this episode. Remember, this episode is the start of SETI. Do not give up on SETI just because Cruddy happened. Do not think for a moment that SETI's not going to happen, so rock on SETI Warriors.